Sorry it's so shaky. And the quality isn't that great because I'm using my BlackBerry because my tablet that I usually use isn't currently working. And I hope to have some better videos up soon. We have our Helfriki firefish. I'm not sure on the pronunciation there. And there's our mandarin. Let me see if I can adjust the color. There. Get another shot here. The background music you may or may not hear is from the TV. The kids were watching the Avatar movie. That's the music at the end of the credits. Thought it would be fitting. Hopefully you can hear me alright. So I got two heaters for redundancy. This blue LED light strip is not very powerful, but it makes some nice accent lighting when the lights go off at night. It eventually turns off as well, so it's pitch black for the tank. Gary here's next to my glass cleaner. The black tube is going to be a suction tube to draw water out when I finish producing my automatic water change. And the bag inside is the carbon sock. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that is a live barnacle from an oyster shell that I like to get live oysters at the People's Food Co-op in La Crosse because it has the best price and they're live and they chop up nicely and store well in the freezer, and the fish absolutely love to eat it. And give me a moment here. Over here I have my blackworm farm. I currently dismantled the water circulation because I'm using another design that I saw on a forum, and the worms will stay in here, but the silicone sealant needs to set for 24 hours before I can test it. On the tank, the auto top off and the tank drainage hose go up and run along the ceiling over here, across the wall. Here's an on-off switch. And over here, like that. Yeah, I know, safety hazard. Anyway, there's my live rock. It's extra live rock that's not being used. Some Cheeto. It's a pod farm. There's a couple snails in there to help keep it clean. I thought I had pulled all the snails out to give to somebody, but we figured that I had missed a few. He said he was fine with it, so over here I've got, actually that's a booster pump. The water is from making the connections. I've been using that for almost a year now, though, as my automatic top off. It's connected to this freshwater reservoir, and I just connected a T connection. This other line goes over here. This is a saltwater reservoir, and inside I've got a pump circulating to keep it well stirred. I was actually able to add the salt in and just let it sit, and it stirred itself very well. There's my water reservoir. ball valve so that I can fill a bucket if I need to. And that is filled by my RO DI from Air, Water, and Ice. It is the Typhoon 3 Extreme. I have very much enjoyed this item. However, I mistakenly changed the filters at one point when I didn't need to, because for some reason this is reading 2 for TDS. I've not been able to get it to read 0. It did when I very first got it, and since then it has not read 0. So I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. Neither are they. They think I may need to change my my resin to a different mixture. Anyway, the way this thing works is on-off switch here. Make sure that the flush valve is open for about 5 to 10 minutes with the bypass valve in the open position. And then after about 10 minutes you can close the flush valve and close the bypass valve, and then you'll be getting hopefully clean water into your reservoir. There is a float valve that, and of course this has an automatic shut-off so that when the float valve trips, because the container is full, then the unit stops trying to fill it. It actually closes off the flow to save on the filters. I just check back on it every once in a while. When the water reaches this line, I know it's full, and I just open up the fast flush and open up the DI bypass, and then I shut off the water supply, which is hooked up to my cold water line. And that allows extra pressure to drain. What I'm going to have is I need another on-off switch to put in here, similar to this one. And what that'll do for me is I can turn off the fresh water and turn on the salt water, and just use a bucket to remove water from the tank, and the pump will pump the salt water to the tank, replacing what I remove. In time, I plan to get another pump hooked up to this line, which is the line that runs all the way to the tank. That one will be the drain line. I'll hook that up to a pump and then run another line to the drain over here. What I'll be able to do is turn that on, drain some water, turn it off, and then it should automatically fill with whatever amount I took out from the saltwater container. Every once in a while, though, I'll do some surface skimming manually with that small pail there. And aside from that, eventually I plan on getting these valves replaced with ones that can be electronically controlled, and I'll hook it up to a timer, and it'll automatically do, along with the pump to drain water, I'll be able to set it up to do an automatic daily water change for me. And then just once a week or so I can do a manual surface skim. And that is all for now. Those are the projects I'm working on. They're in progress, and I'm looking forward to getting them finished. Thank you very much for watching.